Welcome to Daddy Issues. Conversations with Dads. A podcast from Fathers and Families Center of Indianapolis, Indiana. Hey, it's Jason and Larry Smith here on Daddy Issues. Thanks for checking us out here on the podcast, brought to us by Fathers and Families Center of Indianapolis. Last week, we had the chance to sit down and talk with an alumnus of the program, and Kaleb Davis is such a great example of the work that Fathers and Families Center is doing and the reason that they do it. Kaleb is a great guy. We're going to join that conversation here momentarily. But let's jump right in at the spot where Larry and I, it's time for dad jokes. Yeah, I wasn't feeling well earlier today. I think I'm feeling fine now, but it's funny because usually I don't get sick on the weekends. I have a weekend immune system.
That's good. Well, I was talking with a friend of mine, and he was showing me some tools, and he said, "Over here is my step ladder." And he said, "I never knew my real ladder."
Never knew my real ladder. That's good. I like it. So, Larry, you're the president and CEO of Fathers and Families Center of Indianapolis.
Yep.
So, what do you guys do at Fathers and Families?
Yeah, so Fathers and Families Center has been around for 32 years. I have been president and CEO for 3 years. I'm just, the second president and CEO after Dr. Wallace McLaughlin, our founder. And we've served about 25,000 dads in that period, primarily African-American, probably 96% African-American dads, although that's beginning to change. We're beginning to get more white dads, more Hispanic dads, more immigrant dads. And we're best known for Strong Fathers. It's a 3-week program where we focus on what we call the 4 Ps. We want to help these men to become a better person, a better parent, a better partner, a better provider. And, this is important to me because there's so many different facets to fatherhood. I mean, the financial part is important, but it's not the only part. Also, I'd emphasize that we start at age 16. I so happen to be a dad to become a father at 16. It's not related to why we started at that age at Fathers and Family Center. We just happen to start at 16. But 16 and up, right? There's no upper age limit. And so Kaleb Davis is one of the fathers who is from our most recent class. We have one class per month, and we have anywhere from 30 to 40 dads. And, they come from all over the city, basically. Now, they can come, I should say, they can come from anywhere in Indiana. Just we happen to be in Marion County, so that's where most of our dads come from. And so, Kaleb, if you could start and just tell us, just a little bit about yourself, your background. Secondly, how you heard about Fathers and Families. And thirdly, what you got out of the program.
All right. So I heard about Fathers and Family approximately 6 years ago. My mom was telling me about it. It was I had a baby and one of my kids, and I was struggling with life, and I was going through things, and she just always told me you should go to this program. You should go to this program. And I actually wanted to go, but it was I was in a transition in my life. So every single time that I tried to, I either signed up for the program or I decided I wanted to go. Me being in that transition between the streets and getting my life together, it was always something that happened that was holding me back from getting to this class. I don't know what it was, but every year I would sign up and I would either go to jail or something would happen, or it was. So I made it a priority that I actually got to this class because me and my mom was sitting down and we was every single time you about to sign up for this class, something always happens. So I think you really need to make that one of the things that you do on the put it on the tip top of your to-do list, because we got to get over this hump. You get what I'm saying? And so I signed up for the class, and when I say every single day I learned something new, it was amazing for me just as a father. Like, I'm an everyday father. Like, I'm not just like a sometimes father, a weekend father. I'm an everyday father, and every day I went there, it was actually something that I learned, whether it was something just to strengthen me or something that will prevent something from happening. So I actually enjoy like when I say every part of everything. Like, we had one class where we did CPR. Like, I'm thinking like, okay, I got 7 kids and I don't know how to do CPR, so it just put it on my brain and it's like, this is stuff that you need to know. Like, versus calling the ambulance. Yeah, that's okay, but I need to know how to spring into action myself with me being an active father. So, like, yeah, I like literally every single time I tried to get in this class, it was just something that was holding me back. But now that I'm here and I actually completed the class, I'm like, this is everything that I was missing in my life. Like when I say everything, like, I mean everything. Like, it made me emotional talking about it, because it's like I didn't been through everything, like addiction, like everything. So it's like, for me to be here right now and understand everything, it's like it feels good. Like, I can't even lie, it feels good.
Well, that's awesome testimony, Caleb. A couple things that you said. One, whenever you tried to sign up, it seemed like something happened. Having grown up in the church, we would say that that's the enemy trying to keep you away, right? And so I'm glad that you persevered. Secondly, your mom, right? So many of our referrals come from women, mothers, wives, girlfriends, sisters, who recommend us. And so we are so grateful for women who say, hey, you need to go to this program. Thirdly, certainly nothing at all to be ashamed about. Getting emotional. I get emotional as I shared with your class. I've had some pretty good opportunities, job opportunities in my life. This is the one that's most meaningful to me. I grew up on the east side of Indy, as you know, in inner city. Dad at 16, parents divorced when I was a little kid. My father not involved in my life. And so when you think about those kinds of things, it can become very emotional. But tell us, I mean, are you from Indy? If so, where'd you grow up in Indy? Let's hear a little bit about your background.
Okay, so yeah, I was born and raised in Indianapolis. My father's side of the family is from the Hallville area. My mom's side is like from the Clifton area. So I was in the middle of both. I grew up in Mayfield Green Apartments, over like off Pike Plaza and Muller Road. I was actually grateful enough to have like both sides of my family around me. So like all my cousins on my mom's side, all my cousins on my dad's side, we all stayed in the same neighborhood. So it was like, we had a fun childhood. Like, both of my grandmothers, my mom's mom and my dad's mom, stayed in the same apartment. So we did everything, like, play basketball every day, go swimming, everything. Like, yeah, I got caught up, in the streets and stuff like that. But like he said, I had went through a phase in my life where I had went through church and I started reading the Bible. That's what taught me about people. Like, so I was dealing with this girl, and me and her, she didn't want kids, but I wanted kids. So it was just like, they say God puts people in your life, for a reason. And I was with her for a lot of my childhood. I was with her for about 10 years. We never had any kids or anything, but she helped me with so much as far as like learning about Jesus Christ, like learning about people. So that brought me, up. And I had a lot of trials and tribulations. It was like the day I decided that I actually wanted to change, they told me like, this is not going to be easy. Like, it's not going to be an easy change. It's a lot of stuff that's going to come your way. And right after that came me learning about fathers and families. And my mom, she stayed on me about going and, being successful and doing the things that I actually want to do. And like, actually, like, when I got into class, it was like this is meant for me. Like I actually had confirmation so many times that like this is for me. Like when I say every aspect of everything that was going on in the class was like personal to me. Like so, it was like when people was in class and stuff, and it's some people that joke around, some people don't take it serious. I was like kind of irritated because I'm like, hold on, y'all, I'm trying to learn. Like this is some good stuff. You get what I'm saying? So
Amen.
That's
So,
great.
I'm sorry. Yeah, Jason, go ahead.
Yeah, so I just wondered what it was like growing up. Would that be in the 90s or the
I'm 32 years old. I was born in 1993.
so 90s, 2000s, growing up as a black boy in that neighborhood in Indianapolis? What was that like?
It was rough. It was rough. Like you got you got gangs first of all. Growing up without a father, you would think that a gang would be protection. You would think that these people make this stuff look good. But I learned the hard way that there is no love out here in these streets. You get what I'm saying? Like it's rough out here. You see people. I got the things that we do. We don't understand how much it will follow you. You get what I'm saying? I had friends, that I've lost. Like I've lost so many friends. Like I haven't even had the proper time to grieve. Like that is the most common thing with growing up in a rough neighborhood. I lost so many friends, so many people that I seen so much potential in, whether they went to jail or they just died. Like just imagine you being with somebody every day of your life, and you guys are building futures together and all this stuff. And, one day you get a call and it's like, yeah, such and such died. And it's like, now we have to prepare ourselves to go bury this person or, you know, everything that comes with it. I got friends that I've lost to the system because they weren't mind strong enough to accept the death. It's things that come beyond death. Losing somebody to the streets, you get people wanting to retaliate. You get, everything that comes with it. Like, and it's rough. It's rough as a man, to make the type of decisions that you have to make, because potentially, you can go do whatever it is and get your get back or do whatever, but there is consequences that come with it. You get what I'm saying? You can either lose your life one or two ways. You can go to jail or you can die doing the same thing that your friend did.
You mentioned two well-known areas of our city, Hallville, and as I know, folks from Hallville like to say Hallville, USA, and then Clifton. So I've got an uncle who lives off of 30th in Clifton. My uncle Curtis does two huge community barbecues every year. One for Labor Day and one for Memorial Day. And he's got the old school barrel barbecue pit and all of that. So I have spent a lot of time over at 30th and Clifton on those occasions. But back to the class you mentioned, you took it very seriously and a little irritated with not everybody who some of the men did not. Can you talk about one or two things that you learned that have helped you become a better father?
Being a good father is not necessary. I learned this there. Being a good father is not necessarily having money. You know what I'm saying? Being a good father is actually being active. That's one of the main things that I learned. And I also learned that it's never too late to change a relationship that you had, whether it's with your kids or with anybody. It's never too late to change. That's one of the two biggest things that I took with me.
Did
Appreciate
you
that.
feel like that you got started? You wish you would have started earlier, and that you kind of
Oh yeah. Honestly, honestly speaking, if I would have took this class 6 years ago, I would be in a whole different mindset. I would be in a whole different spot in my life. Period. I mean, take listen. If I guarantee you, I would be a millionaire just with the mind. It's not only about this class is not only about being a father though. Like it plays like fathers and families is helping the fathers. You get what I'm saying? Because we usually have a heart, but it also get your mind working. On a different level. like on a way different level. Like you might, it's a lot of people that like they gave us a project, they gave us $1 million budget, and they told us to build a business, basically. Find the property, all of that stuff. That opened up my mind so much because it's like a lot of people had good plans, but Mr. Smith came to tell us, some little inside information about, other things. And I was like, whoa, that just, hey, I'm telling you, it just blew my mind because, like, we all felt like, we was doing our thing, and we did. Don't, we did everybody did our thing, but it just opened our minds up to really think like this class is not just about, just parenting and all that. Like it really does play a big part, and it does teach us a lot about it, but it really makes us think. It's like a lot of stuff that I got from it, it really wasn't for me at the moment, but I know I will need it. So if I like literally I've told everybody that comes around me asking for advice and stuff like that, I'm like, hey, I take my notebook home every day. Everything that we do in the class, I take it home with me every day. I go over it, I read about it, and say my cousin come over. My cousin just came over, and I'm pretty sure he's going to attend the class because, like, we had a conversation, and it actually broke the ice to the point where it made him emotional because I was able to help him with stuff like that. You would think that you would go to your dad, or that's what most people think. I can go talk to my dad, but see, like my dad made me who I am today too. So I really like, as far as like my dad was the type of guy, and not to shame him or anything, but my dad's been married 3 times. He has one wife has 5 or 6 kids. One ex-wife has 3 kids, and one ex-wife has 4 kids. And then he has another. Well, one of his ex-wives, he has 2 kids with. He had 2 kids with her. You know what I'm saying? So all this time, all through my life, I would want my dad there all the time. I would call him. I would keep in touch with him. Like I just felt like I was getting on his nerve trying to reach out to him. But like when he came down to my step siblings, he would do everything for them. When I say everything, like they would almost brag to us about the stuff that they would get and all of this stuff. And it like how he is, I told myself I would never be like that. I will never ever be like that to my kids, to the point where like me and my kids have the best relationship ever. Like like when I wake up in the morning, like my kids are smiling at me. I don't have time to have an attitude. My daughter wakes up and says, "Daddy, I love you." That 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 triggers.
Your day moves fast. Your news should too. That's why there's a new and improved Wish TV app bringing you more local news, breaking alerts, live streaming, weather forecasts, radar, and Indiana sports all in one place. Customize your news feed to see the stories that matter most to you and get the information you need when you need it. Download the new and improved Wish TV app today on iOS or Android and take News 8 with you everywhere.
Trigger something in me to be like, you know what? It's not about me. Life is not about me anymore.
You're listening to Daddy Issues. We'll be right back after a short break. And now back to Daddy Issues.
Wow, that's so powerful, and it plays into the point that you talked about earlier in terms of the kids. They're not. You don't have to have a lot of money, and that's one of the things that we try to emphasize at Fathers and Families, right? It is it's not your presence, your gifts, right? It's your presence, your being there, right? And that, like my 2 younger ones, I have a 20-year-old and an 18-year-old. They barely know what I do for a living. They don't care about that, right? And I always tease them, when they write their memoirs about their lives. They get to the chapter about their dad. There'll be a lot of things they'll be able to say, but they won't be able to say that I wasn't there. right?
Mm-hmm.
In fact, they'll say he was there too much. We wish he would go away sometimes, but just being there for the kids. But another thing I'd like you to talk about is the bond that you. I mean, the class is only 3 weeks long, but you form. In every class we see that there are strong bonds formed between the men in the class. Can you talk about that a little bit?
When I say that is really like the bonds we build in class, like it's actually guys that like when I came into the class we didn't talk as much, and literally we literally talk. When I say every night, like we talk like up until a good 3 o'clock in the morning, 4 o'clock in the morning, because the conversations be so deep, and a lot of people relate to things that I go through, and some people need advice. So a lot of people ask me for advice because I experience so much. So it's just like when I tell people like, yeah, I've been through this, they be like, dang, so how did you figure that out? And like I tell them, I experienced a lot in my life, so sharing with them is one of the things that I love the most. Like I built a brotherhood with all the guys in the class. Like every like when I come in the morning, I make sure I say good morning to everybody just to let them know that I acknowledge you. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to acknowledge everybody just as a man. Like that's just me as a human being. Like I can't walk past somebody and not acknowledge them. So it's a small few that didn't grasp to everybody's welcomeness. You know what I'm saying? Our class was one of this is from the teachers. One of the classes that really got together and stuck together and stayed on top of each other. And I mean, like as far as like holding each other accountable. A lot of people have cussing habits. You know what I'm saying? And learning how to correct people in the right manner. That that plays a big part of everything too. Some guys in there, that were, doing this and that. We put them to the side, and as a group, we talked about it, and we was like, hey, we need to go holler at them because we need everybody on the same type of timing that we on. You know what I'm saying? Because it's a lot of opportunities in the classroom. Like the people that we meet, the people that we, shake hands with on an everyday basis. Every day is a new adventure. So for these people to come out and take the time out their day and give us all the resources that they can and really want better for us, it speaks in volumes. Because you got people that, like my father, for instance, my father has done nothing for me, but I come to this class and they showed me that I'm worth something. You get what I'm saying? They don't have no relation towards me. You feel me? There's nothing here but me being here. And that was everything for me. Like even down to the teachers, they reach out, they build relationships with us, even when we not say somebody's doing something that they're not supposed to be doing, they don't call them out. They speak to us as a whole because we are brothers, and somebody's gonna catch on to who it is, whether it's this person or that person. It's up to us as a group to make sure that they get in line.
Hey, Larry, I've got a question for Caleb. Yeah, this is Daddy Issues, and we are talking with Kaleb Davis and Larry Smith, the Fathers and Family Center of Indianapolis. So, the classes that we're talking about, Strong Fathers, is this a classroom type situation? Can you talk about how this actually looks?
Yeah, so great question. So, like I said, we'll have 30 to 40 dads in any given class. Some of it's set up like a classroom, their desk and all of that. Our fatherhood specialists, our instructors, cover just a wide variety of topics. So, for example, an early topic is going from maleness to manhood, right? And we help them emphasize that just because you were born, biologically a man and you had a kid, that does not make you a true man, right? So we talk about that. So in some ways, it's sort of traditional discussion, as in any kind of class. Some of it is more hands-on. We do make an effort to get outside the classroom because there's so much learning that goes on outside the classroom. Another key feature, though, is to the extent that we can, we encourage all the dads to choose their own leaders within the class, right? So we are there to facilitate, right? But they're the ones who are leading themselves. They choose their own class leader, they choose their own ritual leaders, they choose their own. As I like to call it, spirit animal. This class was the wolves, right? And so it's their own to the extent that they can. We empower them to do that. I mean, so yeah, Caleb, can you talk about that? Kind of the classroom atmosphere.
Honestly, we learn so much. It's honestly like everything is done in a group. So I look at it as like a podcast. Honestly, like we literally brother up, sit around and talk about things that men do, things that that goes on in everyday life, things that we can improve on. It's a no judgment zone, so it's things that it's a here basis. What you hear here stays here, and we build off of it. We don't shame anybody for what they speak on. We don't judge anybody for what they've been through. Nothing, and we stand on business for each other. If somebody is going through something, everybody is there for them. We lend a hand. We exchange numbers. And we actually fellowship with each other. It's a great thing, honestly. Like, coming up in life, that fathers and family is what I thought a gang would be, honestly. Like, when I thought about a gang and the love, I figured out the hard way that there's no love in a gang. But in a brotherhood there is love. You get what I'm saying? It's people that I love dearly that I just met, and I can't explain how. We just built that relationship to where, like, some people that I've been in class with, like, literally I call them and just let them know that I made it in safe. Hey, me and the kids made it in safe. What you about to do? I'm cooking dinner. I'm about to do this. I'm about to do that. But like, it's I feel like everything is there is necessary, because we learn so much. You would think that it wouldn't be a classroom setting, but a lot of stuff that we learn is meant for you. You need to be in that mindset to, take in everything that they have to offer. It's so much. Sometimes you need to just, sit down and listen. If they made it so everybody got to walk around and it's just like a open gym type deal, I feel like people wouldn't get as much info as they would if things were changed around. So I actually appreciate everything and how it's set up.
This is Daddy Issues, and we'll be right back. And now back to the show.
You said something earlier that I don't want to lose. So you're 32. You said you wish you had discovered this about 6 years ago, and they tell you don't do math in public, but I think that would have made you about 26 6 years ago. One of the difficulties that we have as an organization is attracting younger dads, right? So I said we started 16, so I'll say 25 and younger. We have a difficult time attracting. What advice would you give us in terms of trying to attract younger dads?
Honestly, the younger crowd, they think they know it all, but I feel like if we came together as a whole and actually made it okay, like, even like how we doing the podcast now, just have like more people, like more activities, and make sure we actually everybody is on the same type of time. And I feel like a lot of young people will come because it's not a lot of knowledge out here. you know like it's not a lot of people that are trying to be leaders to actually show people. It's a lot of youngsters that's having kids, and they don't know nothing about being a father. They don't even know what a real father consists of. There's no, this being a father doesn't come with a rule book. You get what I'm saying? They haven't had an example. You get what I'm saying? The kid is not here, so they don't really know what to do. So if we made like activities or something like that, just something to where it would. I would say a podcast, honestly, like just bringing in different people that have did the class, really word of mouth is everything. I know the people that I've talked to, is highly considering taking the class because of, just the knowledge that I have to give off. Like people can see the change within me since I've taken the class. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of people that are going through things with their child's mothers and don't know what to do at all. You know what I'm saying? Especially being a black man, like women make it hard for us to actually take care of our kids. Like I'm blessed enough to have someone at home that actually, is letting me lead, and so I have to be the perfect example for the next person. So I feel like the people that attend the class, I think people should make it their duty to try to get the next person, your cousin, your brother, at least somebody in the program. You get what I'm saying?
Hey, you should write that into the program, write it into the curriculum, Larry. Extra credit for bringing somebody.
Well, Caleb will tell you. When I meet with the class, I tell them the only thing that we ask of them is to tell everybody they know about us, and
Yeah.
so he's done that, right, and so we appreciate that. So absolutely, thank you so much for that. As part of what we want to do is make sure that every dad leaves there with the opportunity to have a job or a career with what we call a family sustaining wage, right? And so income is pretty low for most of the dads when they come, and so we try to get them much higher than that. Can you talk a little bit about your career aspirations? What do you want us to do, and how Fathers and Family Center can help you to get there?
Honestly, I'm gonna keep it real. Fathers and families help me so much. Like, listen, I was doing my resume with Kente, our teacher, and he picked on me, and it wasn't really picking on me, but he was like, "Hey, we're gonna do over the phone interview. We're gonna act as if we doing an interview." And I said, "Okay," so we did it, and the whole class as a whole, they let me know things that I could strengthen in and things that you know I was, excuse me, things that I was doing right. So within the next 30 minutes, it's crazy, and I'm not lying. Within the next 30 minutes, I had a phone interview, and I was so thankful that he called me out for this example because I am bad at over the phone interviews. I get so nervous because I don't, I've never been taught how to properly do an interview. I've never been taught how to do a resume or things like that. So just to have somebody that's actually teaching me to, how to properly do things, you get what I'm saying? That was one of the most biggest things for me. Like now I've been like since I had a resume, I tried it myself. Jobs that I've already applied for, they told me no. I applied for it again and attached my resume and I got an interview. It's so crazy. And I've been trying so many different things because that's what the class does. It makes you think. Like I've been like literally I got my literally class has been out for I don't know how long. I have my whole folder in my book bag with me right now. I carry it with me. Like it's crazy. But honestly, I it's such a good program. I feel like it would be an insult to try to try to tell somebody what we can improve on or something because for the people to actually you gotta actually want it. You get what I'm saying? It's not nothing that you guys need to change or anything. It's like people gotta actually want it for themselves. That's the biggest thing. Like you actually gotta want it because it's info there every single day. Like when I say every single day, it's constant info on just strictly identifying, what you actually go through in your life. Like one sensitive subject for me was learning the type. I've been in a lot of toxic relationships, believe it or not, but identifying what I was going through is one of the biggest things for me. You know what I'm saying? So learning the type of abuse that I was going through, whether it's verbal abuse, whether it's physical abuse, whether it's, someone trying to take control of your money or anything, like it's really helped me. When I say all around the board, like I feel like I would be sinning if I told y'all something that y'all need to improve in. You know what I'm saying?
We're always open to hear that. I think Jason was going to ask a question.
Yeah, so what I really appreciate about the program and the classes there is that it gives you life skills. It's not just about how to do the actual day-to-day parenting. Yeah, it's that too, of course, but giving you life skills, the kind that they don't teach us, like in school, how to run a household budget, how to fill out a job application, things that are essential to being the man that they need in the home and in the family. And so that's just really, I think, a valuable bonus to the program.
Yeah, seriously.
So what's the next step for you, Caleb? What are you aspiring to do?
Well, I've always had dreams of. Um, I actually have a business plan. I've been making a business plan for the last 10 years. I haven't, got fully completed because I'm learning new different things every day. So this last month has really opened up my eyes to a lot of things. But the main thing is really just I got a fork. I passed my forklift test today, and so tomorrow I will be actually on a forklift because I did pass the test. And really, my goals are really to just actually find a job. That's the only thing that I really haven't did was got a job and kept the job for a decent amount of time. So one thing in one of my goals that I actually have a meeting scheduled with one of the counselors. One of the guest speakers that came in. He's coming over to my house on tomorrow. And one of my goals was to actually find a job and keep it for the next 3 to 5 years. And basically, I just want to strengthen myself as a man, like do the things that I haven't done, and this has nothing to do with. This is basically just as far as within me. You get what I'm saying? I know I have to take care of my family. I know I have to take care of my kids. I know I have to do everything like that, but I want to get stable. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to be having money problems. I don't want to, go through things. I just want to sit back and focus on what it is that I have to focus on for the next 5 to 10 years. So I plan on opening up my business. I can cook good, so I really want to open up my either a food truck or a restaurant. Um, I've been working on the business plan for that. I also install audio, like car audio, speakers, TV radios. I do tents. I do upholstery work. So I'm actually just gonna focus on build my business plan and actually keep a job, and take care of my family. That's the biggest thing because, um, like I said, I got 7 kids, so a lot of my kids are in different households and stuff like that. So I have to jump around a lot to actually take care of what I have to take care of. So now that I'm moved and I'm actually with somebody that is not the jealous type, I can actually have all my kids together. I just want to let them enjoy each other and we enjoy each other. You know what I'm saying?
Awesome.
Caleb, tell us your kid's name so we can give him a shout out.
Okay, so Avea's birthday just passed. She's 11. It goes Avea, Cartier, Alea, Kamari, Kamora, Amir, Cartier, Avea, Alea. So many. No, I'm just trying to figure out who I'm missing. Kason, that's who I'm missing. I apologize. I'm tripping. I'm like, because I don't even call him Kason. We call him Bubba. So I'm like, who am I missing? Like a lot of my kids got nicknames, so I'm thinking of their names. I call them nicknames. So it's Bubba, Lay, Mari, Mora. So Avea is the oldest, and she lives in Tennessee. She's like a she's the prettiest, dirtiest girl that I know because she has a lot of land out there in Tennessee and she deals with horses. She got 3 horses. So she's out getting dirty. I go buy her new stuff and she wants boots and stuff like that. I'm like, girl, I want you to be a girly girl and stick to being a girly girl.
No doubt, no doubt. We really appreciate you. You know, again, you taking your time, Caleb. We know you got a lot going on. You're in your car, so I'm conscious of time here because I know you obviously have some place to go, and
I'm actually just sitting outside my house. I know when I walk in this house, it's gonna be crazy. Like my kids that look like when I walk in the door, they literally. I'm about to let y'all see it for yourself. Like when I walk in the house, it's daddy. Like it's crazy.
oh yeah, okay.
Okay.
I tell you, that's the thing that I have to say I miss the most. You know, my kids are 38, 20, and 18, but you know, when they were little, just walking in the door and hearing that daddy,
Oh my
there's
God.
nothing like that. There's just nothing at all like
I
that.
think we lost Caleb, but that's okay. Listen,
Yeah,
he's back
with the
in the
kids.
house with the family.
Yeah.
So if he wants to hop back on, we'll chat some more. But I feel like he's got better company right now than we can
Yeah,
offer,
definitely
right?
the two
I'd
old
rather be
guys.
with the family than with us, right? So, but I
No
do miss
doubt.
that little kid thing. I found every once in a while I'll find a note that my son would have written me when he was a little guy. Hey, can we watch the Pacers when you get home or whatever? He'd write me a note,
That
and
is awesome.
hey,
Well, so this is so sad, but I used to call ahead. I was married at the time, and I would call my wife and say, "Hey, okay, I'm coming. Make sure make sure they know Daddy's coming home." And so
yeah,
I'd open the door. They would run up to me, the two little ones at
yeah.
the time.
Oh, you
So
want
yeah,
that. I even miss being exhausted about like, doing bath time, the bedtime
oh yeah.
routine and all that. You're just like, I'm so tired. But man, how much do you miss that?
I
Like
love it.
just
You know,
this.
it's funny. Yeah, as you know now, I'm an empty nester now, and so when
Yeah.
we dropped off our son at college, one of the deans was addressing the parents and so on, and he started talking about some things that I had never really thought about, and it was awesome because he said, and both of his kids are at the same school, both of his sons, as he may have other kids, but both of his sons, and he said, at some point you won't remember this, but it was the last time you gave your kid a bath. It was the last time they got on your shoulders. It was and you start thinking about that. I was like, oh my God, that's so true, right? But so just those memories of when they were little, and
Mm.
you're just kind of going through your daily life. You're not really thinking about it. But yeah, there was a last time that you did X Y Z because
Yeah.
they were growing, and I thought, oh my God, I had
You
never
had no idea.
thought
Yeah.
about that. Right?
Yeah.
It was the last time you tucked them in, or
Yeah.
whatever
I
the
mean,
case
if
may
you
be.
would have known that was the last time, it would have crushed you.
Yeah,
You couldn't have made it through, right?
absolutely.
So it's grace that we don't know at the last time,
Yeah,
at the time, right? But yeah, that is some heartfelt stuff right there.
yeah.
This is the guest that we should have had a long time ago. I love hearing this story, and I love Caleb's story about how much this class has meant to him, being still a young father with so much now that his eyes have been opened to about how, oh wow, he's energized. I just
Absolutely.
love hearing that.
Yeah, it was inspirational because as I've shared with the class before, the only part about this job that I regret is that I can't spend more time with the class. I'm out of the office 65, 70% of the time, raising money or trying to tell people our story about our organization and build partnerships and that kind of thing. And so, I had a chance to meet Caleb and was impressed with him. But I learned some things about him tonight. And here he is. He's actually calling me on my cell phone.
Oh, okay.
Hey, Caleb.
How you doing? I apologize. I don't know what happened. It happened
It's
off on me.
It's all right.
it's all good. We were just wrapping up anyway, and we appreciated talking with you, and you had more important things and more important people to talk to than us. But
Yeah.
no, it's all good. Don't worry about it. And please, man, take your time with your kids, and we'll be talking soon.
Thanks, Caleb.
All right, I appreciate you.
All right,
All
likewise,
right,
man.
brother.
Have a
Thank
good
you,
one.
man. Dude called up with kids in the background talking about, I
The kids.
love that. So the name of the class is what?
Strong fathers.
Strong Fathers, and it's held in like what increments? Like, is it seasonal? Is there always one going on?
Always. So yeah, one per month, except December because it's 3 weeks long, and so December you basically is for us about 2 weeks long, right? So we have a pretty long Christmas holiday. So yeah, so 11 classes or cohorts. We kind of go back and forth, but 11 classes or cohorts per year. So one per month.
And what is the cost for somebody to come in and take it?
Zero. In fact, not only does it cost zero, we actually pay them $100 per week, up to $100. If you're there every day and on time, you get $100. If you're late, we'll dock you a little bit, and you can only miss two. After two, you can't come back to that class, but you can start again. You can start in the very next one. Yeah, absolutely. We want them to get everything that they can get. So yeah, so they can start again, and then sometimes it's actually something very good. Sometimes at least 4 times that I can recall, the men actually were offered a job during the time that they were in the class, and they said, "Hey, I really want to continue in the class, but I've got this job." And we tell them, you do what you want to do, but just know that we're not going to be mad at you if you take the job.
Yeah, that's
Right?
the whole goal, right?
Yeah. So we're not mad at you for that. So
Yeah, somehow. So, thanks, man. I really enjoyed this one, and
Likewise.
so yeah, good stuff. And I think that's really also a great reminder of who we're doing this for,
Yep.
who benefits from it, and to see, I mean, the fruits of the labor, right? To
Yeah.
see like this young man he's just scoring right
I love
now,
it.
and
I love it.
making it big. So, great stuff. All right, have a great evening, sir. I will
You too.
talk to you real soon, and keep up the great work.
We'll look forward to it, man. Have a good one.
Thanks for listening to Daddy Issues. For more information about Fathers and Family Center, visit ffcindiana.org. Be sure to follow us on all the socials, and we'll see you next time on Daddy Issues.